Hi, this is a video about how we set up the controls for our Aeroinjector on our AeroV on our Sonex Waiex. What we've done is a little bit different than what most people do. Certainly not the recommended way that Sonex has it in the manuals and all. And so there's no endorsement there. I'm not going to say that you should go and copy what I've done. I'm just kind of sharing the creative ideas that I put together to come up with like Cessna type center controls in our Sonex Waiex.
Here's a view of the aerocarb off of the airplane. So this side here goes to the front of the airplane, and then this side goes to the back of the airplane. Because like the fuel is in the back, it's a really short run, which you'll see a little bit later. So got all this stuff mounted on here. This thing right here, there's like a couple of slots, and the control cables, the mixture cable and the throttle cable lock in there, and then there's like another locking thing that keeps them from popping out, because that would be bad. So just to look at the mechanism here, first we'll look at the mixture. So the mixture cable basically moves this bell crank back and forth. When you pull the mixture cable out, much like in a Cessna, it goes to idle cutoff. And over here on the side, that's basically is like bottomed out the little mixture valve, and you cut off all the fuel. And so when you go full rich, it goes out here somewhere. So that is the mixture. This here thing is the throttle, and when you go forward, it pulls the throttle slide out. So that's wide open, and then that's idle. So when we look at it from the top here, so I go wide open, you can see that it's opening up, it's pulling the needle out. So that's wide open, and that's closed. And so both of these, they have a, essentially a change in mechanical advantage. So because like the, throttle cable mounts way out here, and the pivot point is here, and it's pulling the throttle slide from here, you need a lot more motion. And so our real like aircraft type throttle and mixture cable, they basically get to use nearly their full range. And same thing with like the mixture. So it's got like this bell crank here, which gives us essentially like a gear reduction, so that we're actually like using like a bunch of travel on the mixture. It gives us like nice control. This is how I implemented the connection to the throttle slide. I drilled a hole in the body of the Aeroinjector, and it was kind of aligned with a pre-existing hole that was in there for I'm not sure what purpose, and I went and I drilled it to 1/4 20. Here you can see like the view of how the threaded rod screws in, and the feature on the left is for the conventional Sonex cable control. Here I'm going to put my mixture cable on, see if I can do this one-handed. You'll see that there's like a slot in that cable, and then I've got my slot in the aluminum piece. So I'm going to get that lined up one-handed here. And then pull that down. Okay, that clicks into place. So that's step one of getting the cable in. Okay, now we can do the same thing with the throttle cable. Get it in place there. And that is down at the bottom. This is how I retain the two cables. I got this little aluminum piece. It's got a couple holes for those two number 10 bolts. Also a couple holes for safety wire. So now if I pick this guy up here, that lays in right like that. And see if I can do video at the same time. There's one bolt started. These are going into locking nut plates so that they won't come loose. And there's the other one started. So the little safety wire holes basically go over this bracket and then up and over the intake, and then back to another bracket on the carburetor, and that's to back up the hose clamp connection of the carburetor, which is per the Sonex instructions. Okay, I've got my throttle friction off, and I have like some blue tape holding the vernier mixture button in so I can move stuff around. And so basically this is how it works. Just switch hands here. So this is the mixture going back and forth. So you can see the cable connection there. Do it from underneath there. Here's the throttle. I get the throttle friction off too. So that's idle. It's wide open. Switch over here a little bit. So here's the throttle working. One more view. Going in, coming out. Here's my controls inside. Pretty conventional, like throttle knob like you'd see in the Cessna. This is the experimental version that you can buy at Aircraft Spruce. And it has friction so that it doesn't slide in. If you don't have that set, it actually slides out, you know, from the vibration. And so the mixture is a vernier. So to move the mixture, you got to push the button in, or you can spin it and make fine adjustments, or make coarse adjustments like that. And not part of like the rest of the carburetor, but I've got a little fuel shut off here, which I can turn on only because I got the mixture out. And so those are, you know, my primary engine controls right there.